everyone. Today we are going to discuss mixing and applying last patch limestone. In the kit you'll receive the quart, which is part A of last patch limestone. You'll also receive 4 tubes of the flowing part B. In the can you'll also get 2 plastic cups. One will be for the part A and one will be for the part B. It's always good to have some mixing cups available and stir sticks. And if you wanted to apply it in cold temperatures, you can add a few drops of last patch universal accelerator to the mix, and that will help the material set up faster and also set up in cold temperatures. The first step before you mix the material is you want to clean the stone thoroughly. Make sure that it is dry, dust-free, and oil-free. And the best way to do that is to apply some denatured alcohol or acetone to the stone, and you just want to rub the area. The benefit of using these types of materials to clean the stone is it flashes off very quickly. And you just want to make sure that all the loose stone and dust is off before you apply last patch limestone. Now we're going to mix last patch limestone. What I did is grab one of the plastic cups that's included in the can itself, and you just want to take out some material and place it in the cup. You don't need to pack it, just fill it up to the top. Set that off to the side, and then you'll want to add some last patch limestone flowing part B. Remove the cap, reverse the cap, puncture the top of the tube, set the cap down, and then you want to put 1 teaspoon of last patch flowing into the cup. There are mix instructions that are included with each can. So if you have any questions on what the mix ratio is, please refer to the instructions. And the mix ratio is 7 parts sand to 1 part flowing B. What I do, it's always good to have extra cups available to mix the product. So what I would do is pour the part A into the cup, and then you want to add the part B to the mix. Make sure you get all of the part B out of the cup. And the best way to do that is just to scrape it out with a stir stick or a tongue depressor, because you want to make sure you get the correct mix ratio. Then you want to mix it thoroughly. And what I like to do is start mixing it, and then I'll add a couple of drops of last patch accelerator. That will help speed up the curing process. This will not affect the color of the material or the strength of the material. It's just going to allow you to work a little faster. And especially if the temperature is below 50 degrees, you'll want to use a few drops of this in the mix. In this scenario, what we're going to be doing is rebuilding a corner. So what we want to do is apply the material to the stone. And you don't have to apply it all at once. You can apply it, in little layers. It's probably easier to do it in smaller layers because it is a little heavy. And what I do is just kind of drag it out of the cup and then work it as I go down. So usually we'll have a couple shims here. You want to just make a nice square so that you get a perfect corner. And when you get the shims in, you can just kind of push the material down. You can see how I'm pushing them down so that we fill all the voids in the stone. And usually you can pull these shims off in about 10 to 15 minutes. The product will be set up enough and it won't stick to the plastic. And then you'll have a nice corner. This will also allow you to overbuild the area slightly, because what you'll want to do is once last patch limestone dries, it will have a sheen to it, a gloss sheen. And that will need to be taken off so that when it rains out, the patch will absorb water similar to the stone. So just pack it in there pretty good, keep your shims tight. Then once you have it pushed down, you can take more material, apply it to the top. You want to overwork it. You do want to overfill the area so that you have material that you can sand off, so when you sand it again, it takes on the texture and the look of limestone. And in this particular case, we're using Indiana limestone as our material of choice. So, as you know, natural stone varies in color. So if you ever want to modify last patch limestone, the best thing to do is add iron oxide tints. We have 7 different colors to choose from, and it doesn't take a lot of material to modify the color. So what you normally would want to do is take a stick and break it, and then if you want to make it a little darker, you would simply just take out a small amount, start low and go slow, and add that to your mix. You'll be surprised how quickly the color changes when you add iron oxide tints to the mix. And in addition to being able to modify the colors with the iron oxide tints, we do offer 9 colors of last patch limestone. And if you want, you can mix and match those colors to get the color that you want, depending on what type of, what the color of the stone is. So it's been about 15 minutes, and what we're going to do now is pull the shims off. And what I usually do is just apply a little bit of light pressure. Don't pull real fast, but you can see how the shim will simply pop off. And what you're left with is a material that is slightly raised above the actual stone itself, which will allow you to sand it down flush and get the texture of the limestone.